Japan, a land of mesmerizing contrasts, captivates the world with its breathtaking landscapes, cutting-edge technology, and rich cultural traditions. Yet beneath this facade of achievement lies a shadowed reality, one that reveals the intricate interplay between belief, societal struggles, and human vulnerability. The world of Japanese real estate is a perfect example of this duality. On one hand, it showcases innovation and efficiency. On the other, it uncovers deep-seated fears, stigmas, and heartbreaking truths. From the eerie silence of abandoned houses to the chilling stigma of juken properties, each story holds a mirror to Japan's cultural and social complexities. Through these homes, we see not just bricks and mortar, but the weight of folklore, the pain of isolation, and the persistence of tradition in a rapidly modernizing society. These spaces force us to question our own beliefs, challenging what we consider rational or irrational, sacred or mundane. Join us on this journey into the homes Japan would rather forget. Together, we'll uncover the stories that linger in the shadows, shedding light on a world where the past refuses to be buried, and every corner holds a secret waiting to be told. In Japan, the cultural concept of juken plays a fascinating role in shaping the real estate market. These are properties tied to tragic events, such as murders, suicides, or other untimely deaths, and they come with a significant stigma that deeply impacts their value. The belief in spiritually tainted locations stems from a widespread respect for spirits and an unease around negative energy. This isn't just superstition, it's woven into cultural narratives, folklore, and even modern media, keeping these fears alive. Homes with such histories often remain vacant for long periods or are rented out at incredibly low prices. Property owners may struggle to find buyers even when offering significant discounts because the stigma is difficult to overcome. For landlords, disclosing a property's juken status is not optional. There are legal requirements in Japan mandating transparency about such histories. This honesty helps protect potential tenants or buyers, but also perpetuates the property's unfortunate reputation. Interestingly, some people take advantage of these cheap properties. Bargain hunters, risk-takers, or those who don't share the same cultural beliefs often see these homes as opportunities rather than liabilities. Beyond the economic impact, juken properties reveal Japan's intricate relationship with spiritual beliefs. This respect for unseen forces shapes not only real estate, but also societal behaviors, rituals, and practices that prioritize harmony and respect for the past. Foreigners often find this phenomenon surprising, especially those from cultures that don't emphasize spiritual energies in the same way. For them, the idea of rejecting a perfectly good house because of an abstract fear might feel unusual, if not entirely irrational. However, for many Japanese people, this aversion is less about logic and more about maintaining peace of mind. Living in a place with a tragic history could feel unsettling, as if inviting lingering negativity into one's daily life. Despite these challenges, the conversation around juken properties is gradually shifting. With more open-minded younger generations and foreigners entering the real estate market, the stigma is slowly being re-examined. But for now, these homes remain unique markers of Japan's cultural identity. Different types of juken reveal the diverse reasons why these properties face steep price drops. They're classified into categories like physical damages, legal violations, environmental issues, and psychological or spiritual stigma, each carrying its own set of challenges. Properties with physical damage are often structurally compromised. These might include old homes in disrepair or those damaged by natural disasters like earthquakes. Buyers hesitate because of the high cost of repairs or safety concerns. Legal violations create another layer of complexity. Properties built in violation of zoning laws or without proper permits often lose their appeal. Fixing these legal issues can be expensive and time-consuming, leaving buyers wary. Environmental damage includes properties in areas prone to landslides, flooding, or located near industrial zones. The risk associated with living in such locations often outweighs the discounted price for many potential buyers. Psychological and spiritual stigma is perhaps the most fascinating category. Homes connected to tragic events, such as suicides, murders, or accidents, are avoided due to cultural fears about lingering negative energy or spiritual unrest. While physical or legal concerns are tangible, the stigma tied to psychological factors is deeply rooted in cultural beliefs. Even if the property is in perfect condition, its history can make it undesirable, especially to locals. Some buyers, particularly foreigners or younger generations, are willing to overlook these issues. They see the low prices as an opportunity to own property in desirable locations that would otherwise be out of reach. Despite the discounts, most juken properties are hard to sell. Sellers often rely on real estate agents specialized in handling these properties, as it requires delicate marketing and full disclosure of the issues. Each category reflects not just economic factors, but also cultural values and societal priorities. Japan's approach to real estate, especially when it comes to juken, highlights how deeply cultural beliefs can influence markets. For those who dare to take on the challenge, understanding the specific type of juken is crucial. Whether it's fixing physical damage or accepting a home's dark history, these buyers navigate a world where practicality and tradition collide. Fear of spirits, particularly yurei, ghosts, and onryo, vengeful spirits, strongly influences Japan's real estate market. Homes where deaths, tragedies, or acts of violence occurred are avoided due to the belief that these events leave behind restless spirits. The fear isn't just rooted in superstition, it's deeply embedded in Japanese folklore and cultural narratives. Stories of vengeful spirits seeking retribution or wandering the physical world are enough to deter many potential buyers or tenants. Haunted apartments or jikobuken, stigmatized properties, are infamous examples. These properties often remain vacant for years, even in prime locations, because their history makes them unappealing to those who value spiritual harmony. One example is the infamous haunted apartment in Tokyo's Suginami ward, where a tragic series of suicides created an enduring stigma. Despite the landlord's best efforts, the property could only be rented out at drastically reduced prices. Real estate agents are required by law to disclose a property's dark history, which perpetuates the fear surrounding these homes. While this transparency is essential, it often ensures that the stigma remains firmly attached to the property. Interestingly, these fears create a niche market for daring renters and buyers. Foreigners unfamiliar with Japanese folklore or locals who don't believe in spirits often scoop up these properties at bargain rates, sometimes flipping them for profit. Even for skeptics, the eerie atmosphere of such homes can feel unsettling. Many people report strange sounds, flickering lights, or an inexplicable sense of unease, reinforcing the property's haunted reputation regardless of actual evidence. Folklore aside, Japan's respect for the spiritual world plays a big role here. From Shinto rituals to purifying ceremonies, there's a collective effort to maintain harmony with the unseen. This reverence makes supernatural fears a tangible factor in everyday life. Ultimately, homes with tragic or supernatural histories are a fascinating intersection of culture, economics, and belief systems. They remind us that real estate isn't just about location. It's about the stories, both real and imagined, that come with the land. Low-cost juken properties attract a mix of adventurous souls, horror enthusiasts, and budget-conscious individuals. For some, the stigma surrounding these homes isn't a deterrent. It's an opportunity to own a property at a fraction of the market price. Adventurous buyers often view these homes as more than just real estate. For them, living in a house with a mysterious or tragic history adds an element of excitement, almost like stepping into a real-life ghost story. Horror enthusiasts are another group drawn to these properties. For fans of the macabre, the chance to live in or even visit a so-called haunted house can be thrilling, making these homes more than just a place to live. Those with tight budgets see juken properties as a practical solution to owning or renting a home. In a market where housing costs are high, the deeply discounted prices offer a chance for stability that might otherwise be out of reach. From an investment standpoint, some see these homes as diamonds in the rough. Renovating and flipping a stigmatized property can yield significant profits, especially if marketed to niche audiences who value affordability over superstition. However, it's not without risks. Buyers often face difficulty reselling these properties as the stigma doesn't vanish with time. Even a beautifully renovated home can struggle to shake its haunted or tragic reputation. Cultural barriers also come into play. While foreigners may dismiss the idea of spiritual taint, locals often hold on to these beliefs, making the pool of potential buyers or tenants smaller than average. Some buyers try to mitigate the risk through spiritual cleansing. Hiring a Shinto priest to perform a purification ritual, or ohari, is a common practice aimed at dispelling any lingering negative energy. Ultimately, whether these homes are an opportunity or a risk depends on perspective. For the bold and resourceful, juken properties offer a chance to own a piece of real estate that comes with a unique story and perhaps a few chills. Abandoned juken properties often carry a profound sense of sadness, stemming from lonely deaths or tragic events. These homes serve as quiet reminders of Japan's changing societal structure and the isolation faced by many. A significant number of these houses are linked to kodokushi, or lonely deaths, where elderly individuals pass away unnoticed for days, weeks, or even months. The lack of family or community ties leaves these homes with a haunting legacy. This phenomenon reflects Japan's aging population and shrinking households. With fewer young people to care for the elderly, many seniors live in isolation, their deaths becoming symbols of a broader societal challenge. Tragic events like suicides or domestic violence also leave a lasting imprint on these homes. The stigma around such tragedies not only affects the property, but also highlights unspoken struggles within Japanese society. Walking into these homes, it's not uncommon to feel an eerie stillness. Furniture and personal belongings often remain untouched, as if time itself stopped, making the weight of the past almost tangible. For some, these homes are heartbreaking reminders of lives lived in silence. They spark discussions about the importance of addressing loneliness and mental health, topics that are still stigmatized in parts of Japan. Communities often avoid these properties, believing they are tainted by sorrow or negative energy. This avoidance only deepens the isolation, leaving the houses to slowly decay and further embody the sadness they represent. Despite this, efforts to bring new life to abandoned houses are growing. Younger generations and foreigners are starting to see these homes not as cursed spaces, but as opportunities to create something meaningful from the remnants of the past. These properties are more than just real estate. They're mirrors of society's struggles and a call for change. They remind us of the human stories behind the walls, urging compassion and a deeper understanding of Japan's evolving social fabric.